Taking a look at the 25K portfolio, we have a range on this, 25 to 50K. Margins do go up and different brokers have different margins, and so with the pandemic, margins went even higher, so sometimes it takes a little bit more capital to trade this than normal. But we're going to go over the latest results. Through yesterday, we had the portfolio calculator. It has been updated in the portfolio calculator section of the website. And you can see it's up 2,700 first two trading days of the month, up 32,615 on the year. And so when the pandemic started, it was back here in March, 16,545 in April, up 4K, May down 1,900, and then in June plus 2,700 in the first 2 days. Let's go over today's trade, plus 475 on SR counter trend crude oil A. Cover 3 E-mini NASDAQ, minus 625. There's only 2 trades so far. So down overall about 150 on the 25K portfolio. Night Trader hasn't traded in about a week. And those are the only trades so far today in this portfolio set up for the 25-50K portfolio. Going to go over the rest of the trades. All Strategy Access 1. By the way, I'm thinking about changing my workspace setup so that it would be by market. And so you'd have an ES workspace, an NQ workspace, a gold workspace, so on and so forth. And ES, NQ, gold, crude oil are the main markets that we traded that have the most strategy. So Cobra 3, even S&P, plus 812.50 on the day, intraday open trade. Cobra 3 E-mini NASDAQ just got stopped out after having 3 winners in a row right here at this low point. Got several NASDAQ trades stopped out at that point, and so it's discouraging to see because we were in and then it pulled back and then stopped out. So that's typical system trading. And the ES strategies are still long. We have several ES strategies that are still long. And some good gold trades on the day. Plus 812.50 on Cobra 3 ES and minus 625 on E-mini NASDAQ. Cobra 3 adaptive moving average plus 800 is still long. A lot of divergence between the ES and the NQ today. The NQ pulled back and the ES stayed strong during that pullback. It did not pull back in the same way. 60-minute breakout carried the trade over from yesterday, hit its profit target. And the profit target, it was 1,000, so we say plus 975. And about 400 of that was today. So when you look at a trade that holds positions overnight, the daily P&L, it ends at the end of the day as it does at your brokerage account. Your daily P&L is marked to market at that closing, that's actually at the closing price that happens, the cash closing price at 1,600. So, but from a data perspective, the closing price is here. And then from a TradeStation performance summary perspective, it's even different. They use the 24-hour as a day. So this was in one day right here. So you'll see the whole trade on the daily P&L for TradeStation, while at your broker or in our daily P&L indicator output or the portfolio calculator, this is broken up into this part of the trade from the closing price 30.78 to the entry. This trade would be, 11.75 points, and then you have 8.25 points on the next day for this trade. So that's how it's split up. That's how we split it up, because your daily P&L ends here at your broker, mark to market at the end of the day. And so let's take a look here. Additional trades. There's only 4 strategies trading today in this workspace. Adaptive moving average, the Cobra 3s, and 60-minute breakout took that trade. So let's go into All Strategy Access 2. We have AT 2019 plus 812.50. Tick Pulse in QV12 minus 12.50. Lost on 2 trades. AT 2020 minus 725. 60-minute breakout. See, these just got stopped out at these lows. So it hemmed and hawed and pulled back. NQ is 50 points from all-time highs, and it's just hemming and hawing in here intraday. And we might see this last hour rally like we do oftentimes. Lately, that seems to be the pattern. Gap up, pull back, and then the last hour rally. And so that's what could happen. So we have the ES strategies that can get us there if this trend continues. The 60-minute breakout was stopped out right there, minus 1,025. Tick count trend NQ, nice trading, got in on this pullback. Did not get stopped out on that pullback, and it's just recently hit its profit target. So you see the market push through and hitting 31.20. Not sure where resistance will be. It seems like it ought to be at 31.20, but you know, this just seems like there's a machine behind the market just driving it higher, relentlessly driving it higher no matter what. And from a retail investor perspective, you know, it's FOMO lately. They're turning into FOMO, fear of missing out. Good gold trades. Four trades in gold, 2 on Gold Flash, plus 1350 on Gold Flash. Asia Gold 4s had 2 winners in a row, plus 975. And we have All Strategy Access 4 Cobra Gold, cut this short trade, plus 575. The Cobra Crude Aggressive, minus 725. SR Counter Trend 3B and A, both hit 475 on the day, hit their profit targets. Much more potential on that trade, but that is how the strategy is set up. Gold continues to move from its minus 37 value at the end of April to plus 37 currently, and so interesting. Gold continues to be an interesting story to me. No trades in All Strategy XS5, All Strategy XS6, gap fill in reverse. Decent trade initially, and then this end of day rally, just a strong market. Crude oil has turned into a strong market with very little downside. It's kind of like the stocks; it just keeps pushing higher and pushing higher. You have to wonder if it's going to go from minus 37 all the way back to all-time highs and be the widest diverging market if inflation kicks in. So, could be interesting. So. Those are the trades on the day. Let's go over the portfolio calculators for the rest of the portfolios. So you see that we are up. Stock index portfolio. This is the mini version of the stock index portfolio that we're going to talk about. Is near equity peaks. It was only 2,000 away from an equity peak as of June 2nd, and we are plus $8,700 on the month. First two trading days of the month. Nice trading, nice bounce back after a losing month in May, minus 3,700. The stock, that's the 19 system version. The 36 system version is up 6,400 after a break-even May, and we have the 200K portfolio. It's bouncing back. It's only in a $11,000 drawdown, and it is up 10K on the month after being down 8,500 in May, but still up 122 on the year. Let's look at we already looked at the 25K portfolio. Let's look at some of our other portfolios. These are older versions. You can look at the older versions of these and see what the changes are. We also talk about 100K. 100K portfolio, day trade only strategies, and it is up 63.97.50 on the month. And the 200K, or the liquid day trade portfolio 2020, is plus 3,100 on the month. The SR counter trend portfolio is all the SR counter trend strategies. We are showing a gain of 2,700 on the month after being down April and May. And let's go to the 77, all 77. $247 away from an equity peak as of yesterday, and it's up today, plus 5,000 on the month after being up 12,000 in May. And the gold, the new micro stock index in gold. You can trade this micro stock index and gold portfolio on the minis. This is for the micros, but this is, you would just multiply by 10. Most of our portfolios, we show it on the minis, and now we're showing it on the micros by using a 0.1 value. This is 0.1 of the mini results, and so results could vary when you trade the micros because we're taking 1/10 of the mini results for each of these. And to get the mini results, the full contract, you just put a 1 in each of these right here, and so you'd have to, or multiply everything by 10. And so you can multiply everything by 10. You look at the average annual profit of 13,000 per micro, 130,000 per e-mini, and it includes, we're talking about 52 strategies here, And let's see where we are on the month. Plus 438.25, pretty consistent. 17K, and it takes about 17K to trade that portfolio, 20K. And so nice return on that size portfolio if you were to have traded that and have known about it. This is with the NinjaTrader margins. To change the margins to TradeStation, you would go here, you copy and paste this row all the way down to this column. So I'm going to show you, for example, most of the time we have the TradeStation margins because it's higher, and so we put in the highest margin instead of the lowest margin value. And so this video was made using the NinjaTrader margins. So let's take a look. 34K in TradeStation. So a little bit of a difference between the margin requirement between the two brokerage firms, and so you get to see that when you can compare those by copying and pasting these columns into this margin column. And so still looking for them to lower that exchange margin. VIX is at 25, 25. Maybe they'll drop it if VIX goes down to 25. I'm not sure what they use to determine it's time to drop it now, but it seems a bit high for the current market environment. It seems like they could lower these exchange margins a little bit more. So these are the results for the first 2 days of trading. As of Wednesday, we have about an hour left of trade. And let's take a quick snapshot of the markets before we go. So we'll see what happens into the close, if we'll get one of those push higher into the close, or if we get a pullback and then a pullback and then a push. We are 50 points away. We can see this easier on a 60-minute chart or on a daily chart. Let me get a daily chart. So here's a daily chart. You see the high is based on the June NASDAQ futures. The high on February the 20th, 24-hour session, was 97.51.50. So right at 55 points away. That is nothing. That is nothing for the NASDAQ to travel 50 points. But as it moves higher, you see it kind of slows down and the ranges are compressing. You see how many days in a row has it not traded below the previous day's lows. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 days in a row it has not traded below the previous day's lows. You see these streaks, and so what will happen once it makes all-time highs is anyone's question. They will probably try to time it so that it happens right at the close, or that it happens overnight for a gap up. So we could get a last hour push and hit it today, but we'll see. A lot of hemming and hawing. The other day I said we were a chip shot away from the all-time high, and then after the video, after I said that, I realized that sometimes that when we're a chip shot away, it struggles to get there, or it kind of tends to move slow in order to get there. So let's see how the rest of this day plays out. It should be interesting.